Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are going to be reviewing a Plat Reinhardt player. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe. That definitely helps me out. Or if you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below. And down there you can see my rates, you can connect with other people, you can see when I'm streaming, you can do all sorts of Overwatchy and even some lifey stuff. So do feel free to check that out. And let's go ahead and accelerate our pacing a little bit here. Okay, so looks like we're going to hold the correct choke. I appreciate that. You don't need to walk up here, though, and you don't need to do this little dance in the middle here. This is actually just wasteful. You can peek this real quick if you want to go, hey, I want to see what's out there, but you don't want to just be dancing here thinking, oh, I need to stand here so my team can shoot from behind my shield. No. You can stand here. You can do a quick peek to see what's out there. Oh, there's a Genji, there's a Widow, etc. And then you go right back to here. And you can peek and do a fire strike, but you don't stand here, you don't dance here. You're just asking to give away shield and then be behind in the resource war later if you do that. Okay, you can go up and get your Zarya since she's already used her bubble. If you want to use your barrier to go up and bring your Zarya back, that's fine now. Reasonable fire strike. You don't need to back out this far. This is too far. You can enforce this corner right here. This is fine. You see from this corner, you can swing into there, Reinhardt, you can do work, etc. Like, you can be just fine right here. Don't go far enough forward that the Widow shoots you. That would be bad. But you can play right here. It's totally fine. And you'll give your Zarya a chance to bubble you as you do your swing here, which is great, as opposed to delaying this fight, which means your Zarya has to use her bubble later, doesn't have as much energy for as long, and you're enforcing a weaker corner. This one really is better for you. Because remember, if they're here, your team can shoot at them, can do all this work, etc., if they break into you, but you're still perfectly safe here, unless you push forward, which you might do with a bubble, but you can enforce this corner just fine. This is just surrendering space to the enemy team, surrendering space for them to take for no reason. We don't want to do this. Because, like, let's say the Widow transitions up to here. If you were controlling this space through to here, it's going to be easier for your team to say, transition up and deal with them than if you've backed up to here. If you've backed up to here, your team is like, ew, it's harder for us to get at the Widow now, etc. Now, you don't have anyone on your team that can get at her super easy, but the concept still applies. Okay, tiny bit slow on the transition there. I'll probably get less micro after this, but here we are. So again, didn't want you giving away this barrier. Don't mind if you go up with barrier to get your friend here. Please enforce the forward corner. Swinging is fine. You get the bubble. You know you got the bubble, so take your one more swing. And now your bubble's gone, and you can tell it's gone, so you should shield. Nope, that was probably one swing too many. You didn't really have armor left, and your bubble was gone. But that's fine. It wasn't, like, bad. It was just, don't fire strike there. Do me a little favor. That's not a fire strike you really want to do. I get that there's people back here and you're thinking, hey, maybe I'll do damage, etc. But if you fire strike, you cannot put your shield back up, and you aren't really in a great health situation, as you can see here. You're at a little above half health. You weren't in a great health situation. The Widow can dink you, and she knows you're not going to block it with your shield because you literally cannot cancel your fire strike with a shield. So I'd like you to be fire striking, preferably when you have more health, and I'd also like you to be fire striking like your first fire strike was, where you peek a corner and fire strike, not when you fire strike when you're sort of in the open like you did there. You surrendered space that you didn't have to. Again, fire striking, like earth shattering, makes you vulnerable, and he saw you do it once, so you did it a second time, and he is like, I am on that. I am punishing that. Good for him, not so good for you. Now that I say that, let's make sure that he didn't charge before you fire strike, in which case you just made a bigger mistake. No, he's trying to bait you to fire strike back. Okay. Let's take a look. I just want to make sure that our timing is correct. I actually don't know which of you went first. It's a swing. It's a swing I don't particularly like, but I can live with it.
We still need you.
Get behind me.
We're gonna get the frame. We are. No, he started charging just before you started fire striking. Okay, that's fine. Regardless, you shouldn't have been fire striking there. I gave him more credit than he deserved, but you shouldn't have been fire striking there.
You're going.
Okay, I can live with that. Like, I don't love this because I know that their widow's up over here. Like, she's here or here, and you know that she's here or here. So you being like, oh, I'm going to fire strike. Really? Is that value right now? Like, I'm going to fire strike. A, you could get dinked in the side of the head by the widow, and that would hurt a lot. B, that surrendering stuff, like, your Zarya would really like to have a chance to throw right clicks up at that Zarya instead of getting dinked by the widow. Let's take a look there. Oh, my bad. Let me get back to my Reinhardt. So she was, maybe you saw that she was turning and SMGing in a different direction for a moment there, but I don't expect that to last because you don't have anyone that can really tie her up over there. Yeah, now the Genji's on you. The Genji just dealt with the Junkrat, which means what she was SMGing was the Junkrat. So you going and turning to deal with this team, these guys are backing out, and they are a much lesser threat. So there is no reason you shouldn't be pivoted and shielding in this direction, while your Zarya or your Ana try to force out the Widowmaker. Because your Ana with a shield can easily force the Widowmaker to leave. Like, they're not necessarily going to eliminate the Widowmaker, but they can make the Widowmaker go leave, get this health pack, wait for a bit, come back, etc. Like, that is easy for her, and you can enable her to do that because you've already driven back this team. There is no reason to be pursuing this when this is the much bigger threat. And as we see, we'll just show you how this plays out as you're fire striking. You fire strike. Then you go to swing at the deflecting Genji, which, by the way, you can't. Oh, you do time that, so you can't actually hurt him right as his deflect ends. Still not worth. Like, this is literally one of those cases where you just needed to go, hey, I need to shield while my team can shoot at the Widow. Now, I don't usually tell people to shield bot as Reinhardt, but there are situations where it's like, hey, there's a sniper right there. They have better range than we do, but I can literally just be a shield while my teammate quickly pokes out that Widow, and that's going to do more. And I really don't care that the Genji is throwing shurikens at my shield, over my shield into me. He's not a big deal. I'm going to let my Ana poke out the Widow. That's what you wanted to do here, especially once you had the core of the team on the back foot there. Yeah, I mean, when I got 2 shots, and those are really both on you. And you were never going to get out there. I understand it, but you were never going to get out. You were never going to be able to stabilize enough to get back into this. This was a go down on point scenario just to delay it a little longer.
Back into the fray.
You don't have your Zarya. You know you don't have your Zarya. You can see that your Zarya is still in spawn, and you can see, what is that? 4 health bars plus the Widow's up there. So you can see 5 people on your screen right now. You should be getting out deep. Go all the way back. All the way back. You know you can't hold this. Shouldn't really have been up this far in the first place. I know I'm never going to convince players on ladder to do this, but you guys should be grouping up in spawn a lot more often than you are. Okay, that's fine. You're pushing up as your Widow's challenging. Good. It's not great. You kind of have to because you're Mercy Valked, but your team is still not here. Not here. Yeah. Getting here, but that Valk was early. Did you call for a Zarya bubble as you did this? Did you? Did you? No, but Zarya bailed you out of that one. That had nothing to do with you. Or maybe you called specifically for it. I kind of doubt it, though.
Attention,
Not quite sure where you went with the pin there, but it worked. Now you want to push up. You are in an okay situation. You can go, hey, I'm going to push up and I'm going to let my Zarya do work because, hey, we have a shield and they don't. So we're just going to abuse that fact. That's fine because you will be pushing up out of support range until your Mercy catches up. But that is something you can do here. You are advanced enough. You know, I've got to tell lower level players, hey, don't be shield bots, etc., etc. But you are at a point, and this is one of those matches where it's okay to get value out of your shield. Like, you can look at this and go, hey, you've got pretty much a full barrier here. You did not need to be backing up. You could be going, hey, I'm going to push up and let my Zarya keep melting. I don't have enough health to play with. I'm not enough so low health that I'm instantly going to get melted, but I don't have enough health to play with, so I'm going to push up a little bit because I know the reinforcements aren't close and let my Zarya continue to melt this Zarya and Ana. That's what you do here. You could get some staggers here. Like, one of them might get out, but you could get one of them, and resetting this high energy Zarya would be great. And very little risk to you, as long as you understand, hey, I need to be using my barrier. I am pocketing my Zarya right now. Okay, you realize when you get the bubble, just a touch late there. Okay, so it's just a little uncomfortable to play Reinhardt into Widow, I'm not gonna lie, but that's fine. She's moving. She's obviously not gonna shoot you during that fire strike. I don't particularly like that one. I'm going to be honest, I'd have preferred you to keep your barrier up for this rotation and just say forget it to the fire strike. You want to be here and you want to enforce this corner. Oh, that's so deep. That's so deep. You can't possibly get to that. And you don't have a team. Ugh. Yeah, you just need to keep enforcing your corner. I know there's a graph back there, but that's too deep for you to do anything to. You don't even have Fire Strike, even if you wanted to Fire Strike into it. You just need to keep enforcing this corner, I promise. Yeah, I get it. You're tempted. You're thinking, I have to push forward during this grab, etc. But it's sort of like when an Ana gives you a nano at a terrible time. You just go, yeah, that's cool. It's changing zero about how I'm playing. Like, those things happen, and you just shrug them off and go, yeah, whatever. If you recognize that, hey, you can't get value out of it, don't feed to get it. Was it worth risking that fire strike? Really, was it worth risking that fire strike? Risking going down there and having a 10-second respawn as opposed to the 3 seconds it's going to take you to heal and get back into this. So was it worth a 10-second swing to get that fire strike off? I don't think so. They should be moving the cart. You don't really have the close respawn. I'm not in love. I'm not. I understand why you did it. Fine. Did you have a team here? You should have had a team here.
Barrier activated. Down.
Oh, they're just terrified. Oh, yuck. Your McCree and your Widow are on the same angle. Your Zen is playing a reasonable angle. And your Monkey... What does your Monkey do during the Shatter? Your Monkey AFKs. Your Widow is using this time to relocate. And your McCree was already rotating. Yeah, that Shatter was fine. I mean, it's better. Like, your Shatter is going to be stronger. Even if you just say shattering as you do it, this would not have happened. Your people would not have been rotating, doing nothing, etc. It sort of like forces people's attention window open. It like forces people's attention. It makes them react faster, even if you just say shattering or whatever your ult is as you're doing it. In a strong voice, shattering, something like that. That does work pretty well. It can work even better if you say, hey, looking to shatter, looking to shatter. That kind of thing can work. But even if you can't do any of that and you just go, hey, I'm going to say it as I'm doing it, that's fine. Don't be worried about, oh, I'm afraid to say it, because then if he blocks it, it's embarrassing. It doesn't matter. I don't care. No one cares if you get a shadow box. I mean, people will, but people on the internet are idiots, so who cares? So say it, because it's going to force their attention window up, and it's going to get them to pay more attention, and it's going to get them to react a little faster. And getting them to react a little faster is sort of like your shatter lasting longer, because they're going to take more advantage of the actual amount of time that your shatter lasts, instead of your shatter actually being longer. But it's effectively longer because you're getting them to pay attention faster. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, okay. So you don't need to be backing up. Let's take a look. Okay, your Winston's bubble is down, which means your Winston is in, and you do have the Harmony Orb, plus you can see Moira is healing you. So you actually want to be going in and fighting the Reinhardt right now, or you want to let your team... Is there something your team's hard peeling? No, there's not. The Genji's already gone. You want to be pushing in, not backing out right now, because your Winston just used his cooldown, and he is tying up the backline. I don't think his engagement timing was particularly good, but this is his engagement timing, so you need to take advantage of it. Even though you're missing some health, you need to be going, hey, my Winston is using this bubble and his life, and that is a limited resource, both of those things, his HP pool and his bubble, to distract 3 members of the backline. These members are not contributing, and even Zarya for a moment isn't contributing. So Winston is doing this. Winston does not expect to get an elimination through this. That's not what he's trying to do. Or if he is, you're going to take advantage of the fact that he's not to get value and go, I want to be pushing them right now, because I can push up and beat up on this Reinhardt, and this bubble is in the way of the rest of the team, his team helping him, and he's gone here and done this. So you have to recognize that he's, like you, an initiation tank, and he's chosen to initiate, and this was his window, so you have to take advantage of it. Just like if, he was the only main tank going here and he did his initiation window, if you were Reaper, you would understand that you have to get value while he's doing this and tear apart the front line. Or if you were Zarya, you'd understand you have to get value and tear apart the front line while he is tying up the back line. Same thing. Even though you're thinking, hey, I get to initiate, well, no, he's a main tank too. So he's going, no, frick it, I'm going to initiate. And you're going, okay, well, in that case, I guess I better go swing, etc. I will. Thanks, Adam. Okay, let's get back here. You don't need to be extending out past here as often as you are. Extending out for the fire strike is fine, and a quick peek to see, hey, is my Winston dropped yet is fine, though you can sort of see through is your Winston dropped. Now your Winston is dropped. So now you would want to be pushing. I understand that, hey, you've backed off too far, but you wanted to be like, here, they'll time. You peek for the fire strike. You're looking through the wall because you can see your teammate through the wall to see when your Winston drops. And when your Winston drops, you push up hard. That's what you're looking to do. Push it. Why are you turned around? What? Even if there was a threat behind you, you don't turn around to go chase it down. You go, hey, I am going to shield in this direction because that's where the Hanzo, the Ana, etc. are shooting for him, and I'm going to back up with my shield facing this way until I've got behind that threat that was behind our team, and now I'll push back into it with my hammer and continue to push it back into the rest of the team. You don't turn around as Reinhardt to go deal with things behind you if it's going to open you and your team up, if it's going to open you up to getting plinked in the back of the head multiple times. I am daring to make Plat to make Plat chat actually competent. I don't think my chat is Plat chat. I think my chat is quickly going to be, I don't know, Diamond chat, Masters chat, etc. We're going to level up the chat. Like, we're not going to settle for Plat chat. Chat distracted me. What's our status? Yeah, we can't hold this. We knew that we lost our Winston. We knew that we couldn't hold this. We needed to just go, you know what? I'm going to back up and I'm going to play from this new corner. Like, you needed to be rotating backwards. I mean, we could, but honestly, the Kree isn't the one that we're coaching right now, so... Okay. I can live with it. You have enough support to get value out of that. Again, you should have already rotated back, but you should be able to pick up a limb through this. Good. Hard shield while you're purple. Okay. You're purple. You're purple. Why are you swinging? Why are you swinging? Why are you... Okay. Like, you will melt so fast when you're purple that even if you're just on cart delaying cart with your shield up, that's going to be better than trying to take another swing. But that's fine. Ball switch is fine. I like that you stay on the Mercy. Good. You were going for the roll to hop up there and pile drive since you weren't getting enough. That's fine. Chase down Deanna. She's already used her purple. You can get her. You can get her. Why are you waiting? Why are you waiting? You have a Moira and a McCree on the cart, and you know that you just got multiple eliminations. They're not going to backcap this on you, and you were one of the two people that could actually catch this Anna on the way out.
Hello there. Hello there.
Oh, F for the Winston. Okay, please play behind the cart. If you insist on being here, please play behind the cart. Okay. Are you immediately going to adaptive? Good. No. The Reinhardt is not where you can get value here, especially not the Reinhardt while you're in the middle of their team. You can get on the Anna, you can get on the Kree. You're not going to roll deeper into the middle of the team to stay in the team and then shoot at the back of the Reinhardt. Your team is not going to burst the Reinhardt down. That is not your thing. That can be the thing if you're doing it from like safe positioning or something, and that's what's available. But if you're taking risky positioning, you're using your moderate size adaptive shield, be on the Anna, be on the Kree. Those are who you want to go for. Those are who are actually going to swing the difference. The Reinhardt is a, hey, I have relatively safe positioning, or I don't have adaptive shield available, so I'm going to shoot him from here. I'm going to shoot him from here, or he's already low health. Let's try and burst him down, etc. This guy was always fine. Good. You swapped off. Did you see that, though? That Hanzo's free. Good. Wait it out. Wait it out. You didn't need to go back here. I promise you could have just waited it out in the little alcove there and gotten the mini. You also had the Harmony Orb. You'd have gotten healed back most of the way plenty fast. I don't particularly like that. Yeah, there's an argument for pile drive to peel the tank off of my support to help them, etc. But let's be honest, it would have been just as easy for you to pile drive over here, and that would have been way more peel, quote unquote, as well as more damage, as well as you'd have then hit a giant adaptive shield. Whereas this one always had the risk of being shielded and getting nothing, but even if it had gone the Reinhardt, it's not better than slamming here, which would have been very easy for you. And you do have your adaptive shield, so you'd have been fine through the sleep dart and the flash. I didn't like that you were already in cart spinning thing. Generally, cart spinning is once you fall behind. You don't want to be in cart spinning mode when it's relatively even, when you're still in the fight, you know, when you just had a transcendence heal everyone back to full. You kind of went into that early, and that puts you in a position that I didn't particularly like. You're getting a little too interested in fighting the Reinhardt in general, it seems, as Ball, and Ball is not... Ryan isn't your main target as Ball. You're more interested in messing with the backline. Now, if you have a lot of poke on your team, you can, like, knock a Reinhardt out of the way, push him to the side while your team then mows down their backline or something, or you could just slam up their backline so that the can be followed up on by your teammates, etc. But when you're Reinhardt, yeah, sure, play with the other Reinhardt. When you're Ball, you're not super interested in playing with the other Reinhardt. You can, like, knock him into your own Brawl team, you can knock him to the side for a poke team, but you're generally not trying to, like, burst him down yourself. Oh, chat. Analyzing my mannerisms. Shield. You have tempo. Let me rephrase that. You don't have tempo. I'm looking at the wrong team. Let me take a look here. Do you have your bubble back yet? No, I didn't think so. So, earning your space up to here was fine, but before you push this further, please get your next bubble back. So, like, I just want you to have internally timed or be communicating with your Zarya to know when that next bubble is available, because you can't push this if we go back just an instant. Here you are. This is fine. You're fire striking knowing you're going to get the bubble, and then you're continuing to push with it, and I'm fine with this. And you know that you bubbled a little bit before there, Reinhardt did, and it cost you some resources to get in here. So stabilize for a moment, get a little bit of health back. A little bit of health back. And then you're about a second early on your pushing in here, but that's fine. Yeah, there's your bubble. Not super helpful. And you can just hold your shield up here, play this corner a little bit, but hold your shield up. Remember, they're the ones who have to push back onto the point. Make them walk in so you can swing at them. No, we don't do that fire strike. I mean, it wasn't terrible because you had closed line of sight on all the ranged people, but it's the general habit. If you specifically calculated the only people who can see me are people who don't have good range, fine. But given your other fire strikes, I don't think that's what's going on. I know it's tempting. I know he's discorded. But remember, you're purple. You can't. Let the rest of your team deal with it. You shield. Like, it's that simple. Plus, the discord isn't going to fall off. The purple will wear off if you just shield. And you have a full barrier that you can be using. So why are you swinging now? I know you had the bubble, but like you have no health, man. Just suck it up and let your team handle him. Okay. Close the corner. Close the corner. No. You don't have health. You don't have health. And why are you jumping straight back rather than going to the corner? You're low on health and you don't have much barrier left at this point either. Go to your corner. I'm sorry, was that Zarya in fire strike range? Had you smacked her with your hammer enough times that you could finish her with a fire strike? The answer to that question is no. So there was no reason to be fire striking there. You like your fire strike button too much.
Escort the payload.
Secure the payload. Let's move it out.
My sound barrier is almost ready.
Oh, love that one. Yes, that's the type of fire strike I like. Um, except I know that they're going to be shooting, and I know that Chuzaria does not have team bubble. So, oh, you didn't take much damage in return. Okay. Okay, that time you had the bubble for it. Swinging your hammer is better than fire strikes. Most of the time. Most of the time. Swinging your hammer is still better than fire strikes. Again, we use fire strike specifically to finish people off, or we use fire strike when we're peeking corners. We don't just go, oh hey, let me fire strike the Zarya from here. No, that Zarya's in swing range. Swing at the Zarya.
Baptiste.
They're still fighting me yet.
Get that payload moving.
Okay. Have you trained your Zarya wrong at this point? No, this is just your Zarya's natural thing. That's fine. I don't really want you pushing this though. Good, good. Backed out. No, no. I saw how much damage you took throwing the fire strike, and I can live with that one, but why did you then lower your shield after that? Keep the shield up. You just took like another 150 damage when you lowered your shield for no reason. Okay. If you want to fire strike that, I'm good. Okay. Shield. Nope. Just leave. Literally just leave. There's no reason to be in this fight anymore. Like, if you look at this, I know you feel like, oh, their Rein's down, but you have two people back in spawn, and they have Velt going. They're going to have a tough time punishing you, but you're going to have a tough time punishing them. But if you leave, just literally leave, their Valk will run out, and you'll get your two friends back faster than they will get that Reinhardt back. See what I'm saying? And not just the Reinhardt, they've got another one back there too. So like, this is tracking the kill feed, being aware of the situation. You don't need to push into this Valk. You don't. Nope, you were feeding.
I'm escorting the payload. Let's keep it moving. Come on down.
They're not there, but your Hanzo is, and you know your Hanzo is. Yeah, okay. I think this would have been easier if you just waited and taken the fight later, but that's fine.
Let's get you healed up. Target in sight. You hear that?
Need healing.
Let's up the tempo.
You don't need to back up to push the cart. You were correct the first time when you were thinking, oh, I should go up here to hold this corner. That was the right thought.
I am loving this.
Forward. Forward to hold the corner. Forward. No. No. The cart literally can't move while that's happening. You could have 0 people in the cart. It wouldn't happen any faster. You should not be here. See, and now you have to earn your way up to this corner when there's real potential that you could have just been holding this corner the whole time. That is now neutral space between this corner and the next corner could have been space that you owned. Why did you re-peek into it after the fire strike? The fire strike was good, but why did you re-peek it?
Let them out.
It's fine. Turn. You need to be blocking to protect the lamp. Yeah. Okay, you can push off a bit. Not sure why you're going here. Not sure why you're fire striking either. I know there's 3 people there, but this is going to hurt. This is going to be painful because there's something shooting at you from an angle. Which of these do you think is more vulnerable? This line of people that is about to have a reinforcement, or this McCree that just has a mercy with it? Your Zarya is correct. It is this line of people. So you can like shield this direction if you want. You can go, hey, I'm going to shield this while my Zarya and Lucio try to deal with this McCree, or you could, in theory, try to push this McCree yourself. But I like these stand here, continue to sort of be the wall thing while you let your team, these 3, deal with the McCree, either eliminate him or force him out, while you block out these guys or stand by and cover, depending on what they need. At this moment, these guys aren't threatening anyone but you, so you could just be standing right here while your guys shoot over there. Or you could stand here and shield this direction while your team shoots at the McCree. Those are all better options than what you're doing. You see how much sound barrier you just lost? You see how much sound barrier you're missing compared to your Zarya? You've taken so much unnecessary damage right here. Oh, there we go. Totally fine with you blocking out the McCree. You do it from back here. Your team was perfectly capable of destroying that McCree from back here, where these guys did not have a sight line on them.
There comes something from the
Fire at will.
Shield. Good. Fine. Good stuff.
I am on fire! Come here and get burned.
Yeah, your team's not really here to enforce this, but okay. That fire strike!
Hammer down!
Are you going to turn fast enough? You did! Nice! That one could have been a cancel into fire strike. Okay.
Initiating match.
Darn straight I'm bullying. That's how I make people better.
Ready for battle.
I'm some kind of angel.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Okay, why are we playing this side this time? No, you were right before when you were playing over here. Not when you backed up to here immediately at like them going with the tiniest little blow, but playing right here was correct. This is not. Now as you're fighting this, there's a Genji correctly going, oh, I have an angle on you. Sweet, let me just pelt you in the back of the head with a bunch of shurikens. Why not? You don't want to be surrounded. Angles are powerful. Okay. Hold it. Enforce it. You don't need to back off that hard. You're just demanding those heals. You have 362 HP. You have 359 HP. 359 HP. You go for a fire strike. And by the time you can get your shield back up from that, you have 172 HP. It's a lot of HP you cost. Like, your hammer is better, and as soon as it does damage to the last person you want it to do damage to, you can cancel into a shield real quick. Like, less fire strike, more hammer. There's that Hanzo shooting you in the back. Please deal with that. And by deal with that, I mean, oh, I should shield in this direction until I can get what I want to fight in front of me again. I should shield like this. Oh, now here's the Reinhardt. Now the Reinhardt's in front of me. Now I can swing again. But I'm not going to just like swing in this direction and let the Hanzo pelt me in the back of the head. Did you suffer a career-ending injury in the Over Bowl and then have to transition to coaching? Fun, but no. I did do some organized play, but you guys wouldn't recognize what I played under. Like, you know, we're talking T3 level stuff.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
I just found coaching more enjoyable. Having 6 chess pieces instead of 1, way more fun. Okay, we're playing the corner, that's fine. You saw that you do have your team here. You do not need to get antsy about this. You can just enforce this corner. If we think about how far that they have to go, you guys are going to have another attack. Let's look at our ult banks for a second. They have... Their ult blank is kind of nasty. You guys are probably going to need to take a team fight. Probably just take a dry fight here. That's probably the right play. See if you can get 2+ ults out of them, and then you'll have even ults for the next fight. No. This was wrong. You did not need to. If you're going, hey, if you wanted to force the fight early, you wanted to force the fight quite a bit earlier. Like, you wanted to force the fight back here, etc., to minimize card distance. Forcing the fight now is just like, oh, look, my team doesn't have an angle to influence the enemy team. This is wrong. Let them come here. If their Reinhardt pushes to here first, your team can see their Reinhardt before their team can see you. So that's what you wanted to do. You're doing the opposite. You're like, this is bad. If you wanted to go, hey, we need to stop the card early, you wanted to like go try and do it up here, not be doing it just a couple, 6 seconds, 3 seconds, probably about 4 seconds before where it gets to where you'd naturally fight it. I think they're just going to out-ult you. Yeah. Ult are still going to line up better for this next fight than they were for this fight that you were in, but you would have had a stronger ult position if you just dry fought that. And when I say dry fight, guys, I'm not one of the people that's like, oh, just int and you have no plan and just go dry fight, etc. You're still playing for a win condition, and if you go up, you'll absolutely use ults to win the fight from there, but you're playing for a strong neutral fight effectively, even though they have ults. And if they say, no, we're not taking the neutral fight, we're going to ult you, that's fine, but you still are executing a good neutral fight plan that can win you the fight. You're not just going, let's feed our brains out, etc. I am not a fan of people who will say, oh, let's just neutral fight, just dry fight, feed your brains out, etc., press WM1, etc. No, there's still more to it. You take a better fight than that. You take a fight that you can win as if it's a neutral fight.
My ultimate is charged.
Good. Good. Turn, shield. Shield. I promise you shield. That fire strike. Okay. The reason I was asking him to shield is because I knew there was a Genji blading his back line, and I want him taking less damage and trying to keep damage off of his team while that's happening, even if he's getting unevenly swung on while his team is dealing with the Genji blading them. Thank you, Indie Struck. I'll remember that I could do the do more of the. What's this? Good. And that's it. Good. 100K subscribers when? Probably once I break my formula a little more, do some more Pro VOD review, maybe when Overwatch 2 launches and I get to, ride the rising tide of that. Who knows?
Why did you abandon the assassins?
I never.
It was. They definitely could have stopped a team fight earlier, right at the end of second there, but that was good. On the other team. But this is still winnable. They have 2.5 minutes.
I am your shield.
Okay, you're getting it right now. I don't think you can be this deep. I don't think your team's... Yeah, and I think you can't be this deep. Like, you do sort of need to delay here for a moment for your team to catch up, because unfortunately it's rare that your team is going to keep up to the level that they need to really justify this push. I don't know why your Lucio is so far back, though. Like, yes, getting your team up here is nice, but he needs to be pocketing you. But that's okay. Here we go. Shield. Hold right click. Hold right click. Okay, shield. Again, make them push into you. No, we don't turn around to swing at the Zarya. If we turn around to swing at the Zarya, that means all of them can rain stuff in from this direction. We go, oh, hey, that's really annoying. If I can angle my shield to deal with both, great. If not, I want to work my way left while shielding both. But if not, I'm going to work my way left and then turn until I can shield both or can swing into one of them without exposing, my back to the other of them, etc. Hard left. Hard left. Hard left. That's fine. Okay. So the issue there was you just went a little too fast for your team. And I like the aggression. I like the go, go, go. But you do have to sort of recognize the reality of most teams are a little slower than that. You can probably tempo this, though. Yeah, now you get it for free. Counter charges are cool. Really? Really? Yeah.
Push off.
You've still got time.
Attack review. My ultimate is almost ready. My blade is ready to be unleashed.
What me was the wicked. Objective A captured. Escort the payload.
This card is going to move automatically out of the garage. Thank you. So you can now see it through the wall. Which is cool in the replay. But I even knew without that their Mercy, who had gone down last, was pretty far back here. So I knew, and you should have known, that they can't actually hold this space. If you had gone, hey, one person on cart, one person on cart watching it come out of the garage, etc., and pushed 5 of you up here, you could have forced them to leave and you could have taken this much space for free. Now they're potentially going to get this hold, and that's unfortunate, rather than their first hold being here. Because if it's here, they might be able to get 2 fights on second. Whereas if it's here as their first thing, there's no way they get that. So you do have to understand when people went down, how long it takes them to come back, etc., and you could have bullied them out of this position if you'd pushed up as 5.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Okay, you don't need to let it go first. Your team is here. You can push forward. Your team is here. Your backline is swung to a place where they'll be able to see you if you push up through this team to the next corner, etc. You should be pushing. You have full resources.
По готовности.
It's fine. They'll take him. If you're really good on comms right now, you'd be asking Lucio to taxi you and Anna back.
My ultimate is charging.
Okay, you're gonna win this with Shatter. No! No! Yeah. Okay. So, not the end of the world there. Let's just rewind a bit just for the sake of having a different end screen. Sure. So, not the end of the world there. Things that I would recommend for you to work on is, yeah, you do have some Fire Strike out in the open stuff, some you just like your Fire Strikes a little too much stuff. So please rein that back in, get a little more control of that. Totally fine with you Fire Strike around corners, but you get too tempted to go, oh, they're just a little out of reach, let me Fire Strike for them when, the Fire Strike's not going to be a finisher. Or there's 3 people in a row, I'm missing half my health, but I totally want to drop my shield and Fire Strike at these people that are 3 in a row here. Well, you're missing half your health, buddy. You can't do that. You're going to trade damage unevenly. Like, yes, you might hurt 3 people, but you don't want to expose yourself like that. It's too expensive in the grand scheme of the fight, etc. And then the other thing I'm going to say is, you definitely don't have a shield bot problem, and that's really good. But there are matchups where you do need to consider, okay, what am I going to do with my shield a little bit more? Like we talked about on Widow first point defense there, where, hey, you drove back their core, please keep your shield up for your Anna or someone or your Zarya to pink out, to force out that Widow, to make her leave, etc. Like you can still use your shield to contribute to long range fights as long as that's not your default playstyle. That's a very specific thing that you do for situations like there's a Widow and we've driven out their core, or like when we were let's go back to, or like when it's here and, hey, I can use my shield to block off McCree while my Zarya and my McCree go take care of their McCree Mercy and the rest of the team isn't there. Because you don't want to walk up to fight that McCree. You actually want the poke fight to happen right there because it's favorable to you. Or the situation on here where you could have pushed up and gotten the stagger on their Zarya and Mercy it was their Zarya and Anna, I think, with your high energy Zarya quite easily. You weren't in a health position where you could swing at him, but you weren't in a health position where you're super vulnerable either. So you go, well, what resource do I have? I have my shield. So I'll push up with my barrier and I'll use the 3/4, 2/3, whatever of my barrier that I have left to protect myself and my Zarya while my Zarya picks up quick staggers on one or both of these heroes, etc. So be a little more conscious of when it does make sense to go, I am going to use my shield specifically to enable another hero to do something in a bit of a poke fight, etc., because I don't have the health to do something myself, or because I don't have the reach to do something myself, etc. 90% of the time, yes, your barrier is to get you to targets that you want to beat on or to cover rotations, but there are niche situations, and you ran into quite a few of them here, where you do go, I'm putting my barrier up to let someone else poke, do damage at someone who doesn't have their own Rhine barrier, etc., etc. So you don't put your thing up to go, now our Reinhardts face each other and we shoot at each other. And I know you know that. I'm saying this for other people that are watching that. But you can put your barrier up when you go, I can't get to that target, or I don't have the health to swing at that target, but I have plenty of barrier left to let my Zarya or my McCree finish that target, etc., etc. Hope that makes sense. So let me check chat for any questions. If you guys have them, throw them up now. You'd rather watch Temporal than play Overwatch? I agree, Adam. I'd rather coach Overwatch than play Overwatch. So I understand that way of thinking. All the fun with zero risks Tessar. Yep. You're going to win with the shatter. No defeat. Yeah, that happened. Press Q to win. Yeah, would have been nice, but he didn't really have a window. Yeah, we could have done a little more ult economy stuff. I don't generally get super into the ult economy type stuff until we're a little higher than this. This guy's kind of right on the edge where you start to really need to be thinking about ult economy, but he is at the point where he's probably tracking, 4 ults that are going on, 3 ults that are going on the other team. But I don't know if Junkrat's is one of those. Usually main tank players start tracking the other main tank, then they start tracking a support, then you sort of work your way out until you're tracking all 6 ults on the enemy team as you work your way up the ladder. 10 commandments for the characters. I could do like a 10 tips for every character type thing. I don't know that they'd all be 10 long, because with some heroes you just review more often. Honestly, I could do like a Temporal's 24 things that are the answer to most VOD reviews. But the problem is they don't mean anything unless I contextualize them for you. But it is things like don't stagger, take angles, hold corners, get value out of your cooldowns. You know, ult before the other, ult early into an engage. Was it still a 6v6, not a 6v6 or a 5v5, not a 3v6? Like, I could list out 24 things like that, and I probably do disproportionately find those as issues, because those are some of the lowest base order issues that you have to fix to get good at Overwatch, and some of those you keep getting better and better with all the way up to GM, including things like engagement timings, etc. So I could probably do something like that. I don't know if I will. Maybe. Don't drop your shield when you're purple. Definitely. Thank you for the vids. Started playing last night and they've been helping. That's awesome. Don't drop your shield while discorded. Don't you dare charge. No, there's reasons to charge. They're just much, much less than most people think. Okay, that's what I've got. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe. That definitely helps me out, lets me do more of this. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below. And through that, you can see my rates. You can connect with these lovely people in chat. You can participate in the Recruit a Friend special to save yourself and your buddy some cash on that coaching, all that good stuff. It's not always thy neighbor's elimination that you're finishing there. Sometimes you are finishing your own. Like, I'm okay with you fire striking in the open if it's like, hey, I'm fire striking, I shattered some people, then I swang into them, and then I finish with a fire strike. That's all your elimination that you're finishing there. But yeah, basically. Okay, that's what I've got, guys. Thanks to Porlat.